Hello. Today, I'm checking out Dawnfolk. Dawnfolk. And this is one I've been interested in for a little while because the developer is a fellow YouTuber. They've been putting up reels of their game. Looks really interesting. I haven't been following the development of it, and I generally don't follow along very closely with the development of any game. I look at it, I think that's interesting, I make a little note of it, and then when it's ready to play, I play it. And then if I find the game interesting, then I go back and listen to what the developer said as they were making it, because I think you can learn a lot from anyone's game development process, but I'm much more interested in hearing from developers once I know that they make good games, if that makes sense. And I wish that were the dominant culture here on YouTube. So this is a first for the channel. I was going to play the demo today, and I thought, well, they've updated the full game since the demo came out. I should probably play the full game so I get the update, and I'm not playing something that's not representative of how the game has turned out. So I actually purchased the game. I thought, you know, Joe, you're a business now. You've got a business bank card. You can expense a game, a £10 game on your business. So I did. This is not an invitation for those of you with released finished games to start bombarding me with your games and asking me to play them. I've been getting lots and lots of emails from people telling me to play their games, and that's not how submissions to this channel generally work. I play games that I find personally interesting, and I play games that are submitted to me for Indies Under the Knife, which is a thing I do every Thursday. And in order to submit a game to Indies Under the Knife, you need to go to my website up there, indiegameclinic.com. There is a submission form. You go on contact, there's a little bit that says, if you're trying to submit your game for Indies Under the Knife, click here. And there's usually a link everywhere else on my page for Indies Under the Knife as well. On the YouTube homepage, there's a link to it there. There is absolutely no reason anyone should be emailing me about their games. Unless you want some sort of professional service that involves you paying me for something, like helping you design your game, helping you finish your game, helping you market your game, something like that. That is what my email address is for. If you want to submit a game for me to play, you need to use the website. And I hate that I have to do this, but it's becoming more kind of frequent. I've gone back through my page. I've purged my email from everywhere where it was posted, but it's still floating around online. So just because you see me playing Dawnfolk and it's a game that's been released and it's a premium game that's out now, doesn't mean I want to key for your game to play your game, right? Playing this game because it looked interesting. It was made by another YouTuber, and I want to take a look at it because it looks like a game that's my sort of game. I really like kind of digital implementation of board game type mechanics and all of that kind of stuff. I like kind of kingdom builders and stuff like this. So this looked interesting to me. I haven't followed the development as it's gone along, so I'm looking at this with relatively fresh eyes. I've sort of seen it in shorts and stuff that the developer has put up, but I haven't really been following it or hearing anything about their design decisions. But, you know, straight away we're greeted with this lovely little menu that is presented in the style of the rest of the game, which is cool. And the unusual thing, we've got turn-based game, but it's encouraging you to do it with a controller. So we've got a kind of almost like a console board game kind of feel here. Bit weird that I can go all the way over there with my cats. That's cool. Okay, let's see what this is all about. We're going to play the story mode. And these all cost some sort of currency that I need to accumulate in the game. This mode is called Curious Expeditions, which is unusual because that is the name of another game, almost without the S. Let's play story mode and see what it is. This is such a cool menu. Okay, let's play it on normal. Do we start on hard? Do we start on normal? I'm going to earn more stuff and be able to progress faster if I play on hard, aren't I? So let's just give it a shot. I'm always a bit wary of giving players too much choice in difficulty early on in a game, because you can, you know, people choose hard out of hubris and then go, oh, I don't like the game. And it's like, well, did you play it on hard then? And it's like, yeah, okay. Or maybe you shouldn't have played it on hard. It's Calcifer from House Moving Castle. Sorry, it's hard to stay awake after such a long sleep. So, darkness invaded your realm and you woke me up to help you restore it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I did, but if you say that's what happened, then I guess I've just got to go along with it, really, haven't I? So I'm just farting around with my display. We need food to start welcoming new people. Let's build a wheat field. Okay, we're going to build a wheat field, guys. It looks very cute, yeah. The animation on that little guy is great. Build cropland. Okay, I open the action menu with A. I really like this whole commitment to making this a controller-first game. I think you really do have to pick a lane with that kind of stuff. It's all very well thinking, oh, well, some players will want to do this, some players will want to do that. But you have to have some sort of set of, like, controls that feel like the natural thing for the game. And this has been designed around being directional, being grid-based, and being based on using a controller, and I kind of respect that. Right, so I'm going onto a plain area. I'm guessing these dark ones I don't have access to. I'd have to illuminate them using sparkles. And I can choose any of these, and I can put tents there, or I can put cropland there. And I'm going to start up here. It looks like there might be water up there. I'm going to put my cropland up here. Put wheat in the cropland. Okay, so a building becomes a sort of container that you can put separate things in. Awesome, the wheat field produces food every day. You'll need a lot of food to build tents and other housing. You can wait for the wheat field to produce enough food, but it'll take several days. You should hunt in the forest and then quickly build your first tents. I think I will. I think that's what I'll do. Hi, Jill. Hi, Joe. You have literally just reminded me that I haven't done a ping in our Discord, because I spent so much time trying to set up this piece of text up here that I used up all my kind of prep time. Thanks for joining, folks. Right, build tents. That is just our base home camp thing, I think. We can't build tents yet. We need to go and hunt. I'm guessing you can only hunt in the forest bit that has those guys in. Cute. And well, if you're in the Discord, then you don't need to go through the website. The website's for like outside communication, right? So if you're already a member of our Discord community, then we have our submission process there for doing our monthly and stuff. The submissions thing there is just for anyone who wants to send me their game who isn't part of our community yet. And it's mainly to encourage people to stop emailing me, because I get so many emails when I've told people that's not the way to get in touch. And the problem with that is, you know, if people give you a way of doing something, if people say, here's an opportunity and here's how to access it, and you try and do it a different way, then it kind of just looks like you haven't been paying attention, you know, and that can reflect really badly. So, but yeah, if you're already part of our community, then no, the website is for people who are outside of that, you know, to get in touch and share stuff or ask me to play things, all of that kind of thing. Building tents. No, they didn't stop after the YouTube post. They got worse. It's because it's people that are very, very focused on their own thing and what they're doing, and not on watching people's YouTube channels, which is good. You know, as a developer, you should be productive and you should be spending more time making your game or making your art for your game or whatever it is, rather than watching YouTube. So I'm fine that people miss it occasionally, but I do talk about it pretty consistently of like how to get games on the show. I think people just are often not very attentive. I also think maybe there's a list somewhere of like, someone's made a list of email addresses for YouTubers to send your indie game to, and they're just sending them out scattergun and not really knowing who the names on the list are. Which is a bad idea, because if you send your game to like a very harsh reviewer, like my email showing up on a list of 5 people's emails, and it just says these people will play your games, and it doesn't inform anyone that my channel will maybe rip your game to shreds because of what my channel is about, then that's a bad idea. So I guess it kind of comes back to the idea of like, not all publicity is good publicity. And people who understand what this channel is send their games to me because they want to make them better, not because they think they're already finished and they want publicity, you know? Okay, I can keep building tents. Your home generates light every day, then you use the light to illuminate darkness. Ah, this is kind of like one of the games we got in Collab Jam. City builders really need some element like that, a kind of you versus the environment thing, whether it's darkness or cold or just some big sense of the environment being a big bad that you have to kind of work your way through. Right, we can fast forward. We're going to chop some buildings. I'm going to build some cropland as well because I want my my farm to go round that way because that's pleasing to me. You get a cute little mini game when you do the chopping. Okay, I've already balked my field shapes, right, by not putting a space for a farm next to them. Okay, it's going to be reasonably lenient on us rebuilding stuff. That's so sweet. Let's try and work out the best place to put our farm. Maybe here, with all the stuff around it. Maybe I'll just go for here now. I'm going to bomb that field. I'll build my farm. Now, is the adjacency in 8 directions or just 4 directions? That's what I want to know. And to build more cropland, I need that 4th icon along. What is that? Is that building materials, I guess? It's a little bit unclear. I think they've tried to make building materials into like one thing. And it makes it a little bit hard to work out. There we go. Sheep. Sheep. Smug saying these don't satisfy the hardcore survival feel. I feel like Frostpunk did that very well, but there's definitely a sense of like, yeah, how much do you lean towards wanting to make a pretty functional town versus making it very hard to build a town. Yeah, sound design's lovely. Little randomized boink when I move the thing around. And the little squash and squeeze on the cursors around the thing is kind of happening in time with that whoop. Really, really lovely. Oh, okay. You can maybe make a like a kind of checkerboard of farms and fields. That would be a kind of strong way to do that, as far as I can tell. That's so funny. I love that little minigame. I'm going to slaughter these sheep for the quick bucks, because I've got some over here. And I'm going to build this area up. It's very, very cute. It kind of reminds me of, so we got someone in the community called, I think it's Rocky, who's making that Sand Survivors game, where you're building a little town in the desert, and every so often the sandstorm comes and blows everything from one direction and damages things. It feels like that. It's the same thing of like, it's pixel art. It feels like a strategy or management game that was designed for a console in the 90s, and I find that really, really charming. Forests need time to grow, so it's not sustainable to chop them down completely each time. Instead, you can build a lumberjack cabin in the forest to gather materials daily. But there are other ways to get materials too. You can build mines in the mountains for stone, or gather wool from sheep pastures. Pastures? Pastors? Pastors. That's like preachers who are sheep. I can build a church, a tavern. I need to increase my material production. Interesting. I can build a mine. It's allowing me to do a lot of the fun parts of this genre without having to worry about like roads or joining things up, which I appreciate, because I think one of the central things that these games often struggle with is that players want to make something efficient and they want to make something beautiful, or at least a big portion of the audience will want both of those things. And I liked Frostpunk because it makes you build in a dartboard shape and everything you build ends up looking pretty. And that's not really meant to be one where you can build a pretty thing. It's like a hardcore survival builder. But not having to worry about roads and stuff does let me kind of just focus in on where I place my stuff in a much more chilled way. You need to plant something. What do I need to plant? I find it's a little bit hard to make out this rotator over the map itself. I guess it's trying to rotate them into the slot they would be. But I think maybe they're just not bright enough compared to the ones in the background. So that looks like it's got water behind it. There's some old houses over there. That's mysterious. Do I need more places for people to live and some more food, I guess? Oh, you know what I've done? I forgot to put anything in the crop things. Because I'm a fool. Okay, we're going to speed up for a little while. Yay. Oh, okay. I don't have anywhere for my sheep to breed onto, so I'm gonna destroy that field so the sheep can spread over there. Man, learning all these adjacency rules as you go along is initially frustrating because you don't know what you're doing wrong until you've done it wrong. But that's kind of what all of these games are like. I can read the note. These houses have been abandoned for a long time. Look, there's a note. Darkness moves with a will of its own, devouring all in its path. It first came from the corrupted island in the east. We can't continue living here, we must leave. May the light guide us. Okay, vibes. It's giving vibes. There's like a gloom that's coming in. What's that? What's that little dude going over there? Why is there one there and not there? Is it better to put tents around your home? I'm very strongly resisting the urge to restart. Because if I was playing this on my own, I would restart it. Because I'm already frustrated with the layout of my town. A light breach. It will erupt with light every now and then. So make sure you collect it. Amazing. And you can build a light well to collect light more quickly. I'm really liking the fantasy of this world. It's really, really charming and kind of spooky and mysterious at the same time. Cozy, but not too cozy. Okay, we're going to put a wheat field there, orchard there. Why does it want me to pause time? Is it just trying to teach me that? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think the lines with the symbols are telling you when there's a bonus. So if I had tents all around my home, I would be getting more people. And if I have my food directly adjacent to the farm, then it generates more, but not this way. So if you do farms checkerboarded with fields, then you end up with the best bonuses, I think. So I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to put another farm there when I can afford it. So I'm going to speed up and collect a bunch of stuff. Maybe we build a lumberjack so we can get some sustainable wood. It's time to upgrade our home. Anytime you upgrade your home, you earn science. Gee willikers. I just found some science under the floorboards. Science is a rare resource used to enhance buildings with powerful effects. I like this. It sounds like we're not going down the traditional tech tree route, and it's more like what do you want to upgrade out of what you've got, which I quite like that. I sort of I think a lot of building things, it's like we have a tech tree and we put that away on another menu, and then you have to remember what you've got on that menu as you play in the world. And if they've simplified that here, then I think that would be a very smart decision. Right, still haven't got enough to build a farm. Just going to speed up until we've collected some more stuff. And maybe we make another mine over here so we collect resources quicker. So we've got wood and... Yeah, wood and stone are basically the same resource. There's not a differentiation between those things, which is fine. I'll make another lumberjack cabin up there so we can build stuff a bit quicker. And then we're going to build our second farm here and see if that works. So that is feeding to both fields in that direction. And I think if we illuminate this, there's going to be an abandoned field down there that we can grab, which is good. And we need some more tents. Maybe if I build a tavern in the middle of all of those, they'll get bonuses. So the space is really, really tight in this. Yeah, so shout out in the chat from yeah, Poseidon just said they have been kind of following the developers' videos. I've seen this game pop up multiple times on my YouTube, and I thought it looked like a kind of standout of the bunch of, you know, YouTuber developers type games at the moment. So I made a note to play it, but I don't follow the development of things until kind of after the fact. It's good that people do devlogs, but I will tend to check them out after I've played a game and think it's good. Which I know sounds a bit bad, but there's only so many hours that any of us have in our lives. And I just don't want to follow the development of a game until I know it's good. Whoa. Finally, I found you. What's that? Dark storm? It's spreading darkness everywhere. Storms don't last forever, right? We just need to survive until it passes. Don't let it consume our home, or we're done for. Okay, so by home it means our kind of central town hall building. You're not going to bother me, Storm. I'm just going to carry on chopping my wood. And building houses right next to you. Stiff upper lip. Okay. Looks like it nuked my brand new tavern. Maybe I shouldn't have built the tavern there until the storm had gone away. It says we need to build our church near to tents. Bloop, bloop. Excellent light collection sound effects. What's here? A treasure? We found iron. Right. Maybe we put our church here. Oh, these are the things that we can upgrade our houses with science, but I'm not going to upgrade our houses because this is going to be where my church goes. Right, okay, so we're going to build some more homes there. If we want more light, then maybe this farm should get knocked down, but... Yeah, I love all the little adjacency rules in this. They're really tickling my brain in an enjoyable way. And maybe if I put some more tents there, we'll get people quicker. And then I should replace this with a tent, because then we'll get light quicker from that church and people quicker from the home. So I'm going to need to come up with some other sort of food solution, but at the moment that seems like the best approach. So tents there. Town hall upgrade. We can turn it into a fort next time. There we go. I think that's the best way to do farmland in this. To sort of checkerboard it. Ah, it's some sort of evil crystal. They fell from the sky years ago and engulfed the world into darkness. Every time you destroy one, it decreases the strength of the darkness. Basically, it makes illuminating darkness and fighting the storms cheaper and easier. A group of other people have gathered around the black monolith. They're worshipping the darkness. Oi, you. Stop that. Won't have none of that darkness worship here. What do we need for that? I'm not collecting building materials fast enough for my liking. That should be better. Okay. Maybe if I put another tavern here. Is that too many taverns? So that improves the link to the foresters up there. So that's maybe a good idea. And this one needs some more building materials to be able to repair it. So I'll repair those houses there. Go back and see if we haven't got any light in the light well. Can I build one yet? No. Might be able to build one soon though, and then we can expand quicker. The way that the light is your sort of expansion resource that you need, and it's the kind of story thing of like what's threatening you. That is a really, really neat little kind of thematic loop. I really, really like that. It feels very tidy. It gives the game this sense of like mild threat and peril, and makes sense very, very quickly. Really, really nice. I can pray to generate light, and that uses up a science. Okay, I don't have any science left anyway. I can't remember how I generated science last time. I think I just went outside and shouted at the sky. I want some science. Yeah, the little mini games on the tiles are very, very sweet. It's a very cute game. Right, those are houses. Maybe we should upgrade some of these to houses. What would we need? Lots of food. Always the building materials that we're slow on. And we got some sheeps. More sheeps. I can slaughter my sheeps as well. I don't want to do that. Plays the mini games for you. A forge makes my mines better. See, that would be a very good place for a forge. It carries on functioning as a dwelling, so I still get that bonus for it being next to a tavern. But it, But I can only do that once I've got another science. So once I've got another science, upgrading this is going to make my building much faster. Sure. I think these people living in tents might start to get jealous of the houses now. It's just the way it is. I didn't realise there was a minigame on the farms to do the things as well. I've been missing out. Those delicious fruits. Yeah, it is definitely the sort of game that could become a real time consumer. It's a fun puzzle to do in your head, and the kind of the basic interaction of what you're doing is really, really pleasant as well. It's raining again. The storms tend to appear near unexplored areas, so the farther you explore, the further away it might appear. Still, keep some light in reserve just in case. I can build my light well. Harvesting light from the ground is a very nice idea. It's strange in a very pleasing and mysterious way. I don't think I can do anything on the desert. Yeah, my town's already got a class divide. Unless I build houses for all. Is that my new mayoral edict? Houses for everyone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pincer movement. Whoa, they require quite a lot of light. Oh, I should have built more churches. That's what I needed to build. Get off my tavern. There's churches everywhere. The last storm will crush you. Who knows when the next storm will hit? At least it'll be the last one. That's exactly what I would say if I was a giant amorphous cloud of evil. I would lure people into a false sense of security by telling them there's only going to be 3 storms and then do 4. That's what I would do. Let's make sure our city is ready by upgrading our home to its final form. Well, I didn't upgrade it to a fort yet, I think you'll find. And I don't know what doing that upgrade is helping me with. Seems to just cost stuff. So you can like click on the shoulder buttons to fast forward time and like hold it down, or you can just tap like triangle or Y and it will just do 1 tick of advancement. Okay, now I can do my forge and we'll get building resources a lot quicker. But maybe that's not what I needed. Maybe I needed light quicker. We'll find out. It's science! We found some science in the desert. Is there a way I can use science to get quicker light? No. Probably not. Okay, we got our castle now. I'll just do what the game tells me to do for now. We need to just get as much light as we can. I've got 2 pots. Is that because of some sort of upgrade I did somewhere? That's nice. Crystal field? A hemp field. That gives you... Does that give you building materials? A crystal field gives you light. Okay, that's cool. What do we need? More people. Why am I not making people very fast? I want to build an observatory just to see what they do. We've got a miners guild. Get better tools and weapons for minigames. That's why the fruit game had the double pot. Because we got the upgraded tools from that other building. That's really cute. The way these things all link together is really nice. Why are we losing people so quickly? What is happening there? I'm going to clear up some of this. Maybe that's why we're losing people. Because we had houses under the storm. So I can turn the tavern into a barracks. Interesting. A dark field. The dark field turns adjacent darkness into food. That's interesting. And the crystal field allows you to grow light. Strange and cool. Loads of building resources over there. Oh, I don't know what I clicked on there. Right, we've got one turn for the last storm to come in. I don't know if that was early enough to get me the light from building those crystal fields. We're ready. It's time to give it everything we've got. I don't have that much. Right, these take 400. I'm generating some here, I think. I don't have a quick way of getting more light from anywhere. I think I might be screwed. We did it, apparently. We'll meet again. Who is he? Anyway, this city will be our capital. What should we name it? Last Hope. That seems fitting, don't you think? Well, I think you should let me name it. I don't think you should call it that. I would have called it, like, Dunkelheim or something. You can keep growing this city if you'd like. The next region is going to be much more challenging. Bring plenty of water. Okay. Do you want to keep building this city? No, I want to build a new city now that I understand the rules and I don't build it all higgledy-piggledy. Blue light allows us to progress through the metagame of like unlocking levels and modes and stuff. And this, if you came in late, this game has a wonderful menu that is designed using basically the interface from the main game. So we go into story mode. We can unlock Badlands. We can unlock puzzle mode. So I've done Last Hope on hard, which means I've automatically done normal apparently. So we'll do the Badlands now. And I appreciate that you can kind of jump ahead a little bit based on how much you earn. Badlands time. We finally reached the harsh, arid Badlands. This is a key location. It opens access to the entire continent. Food is scarce here. Let's figure out how to produce some. We're going to hunt some guys first. Sorry, beasties. Repair that farm. Can we get... We can't get wood from any of these. Oh, we can get wood from here. Okay. So wheat requires workers and orchard requires materials. So they both have a different cost. There are deserts everywhere. We can't build anything. Wait, there's an oasis right there. Let's build a caravanserai on it. I'll explain why later. I never trust people when they say I'll explain why later. especially when Oasis is involved. I don't think Oasis are bad, but they're probably my 4th or 5th favourite Britpop band. A caravanserai is like a little desert castle thing, apparently. It requires 60 food and 50 building stuffs. You can build ziggurats in the desert as well. That's cool. So we go over this way. Murder the animals. Don't think you can shoot the berry trees. And then when we've got some more people, we can chop that down. Build a mine here for some materials. Not got a very easy way to generate more people here. Mine there. Now we've got faster building materials. Don't curse things by saying that the fire guy is going to be evil. He's a sweetie. Don't ruin it for me. I mean, you may well be right, because the thing is, the darkness had a similar silhouette, shall we say, to that character. And you know, when you have a similar silhouette to someone, I think that says something about you. I don't know what it says. Is that water? Oh, you can build fishing boats out at sea. That's nice. Right. Really need to build everything I can to produce materials quickly. This is already very, very difficult. Not complaining. But I guess I am playing it on hard mode and it's the first time I've tried the area as well. Stone deposit. Building materials faster. I don't have any other way to make people... I guess what I probably should do... Because I've got a lot of food stockpiled. So if I get rid of that and make another tent, then we've got 2 tents feeding into our town, our hall. And then we're going to get people much quicker. Never built an observatory before. Kind of want to see what they do. But we're very tight for space and resources on this one, so... I love that chopping minigame when it's just one thing to chop. It's very amusing. Do we pasture the sheep or slaughter them? I guess we should pasture them because we don't have much stuff. We have a lot of extra food. Oh, if I distribute the food, I get a bonus of population, which is the thing that I really need right now. So let's do that. And then I'm going to need some more, so let's do some hunting to just make up for that as well. Nice. You're giving me 2 things to do now. Okay, we'll upgrade the town hall so we can have some science as a treat. And... so an observatory lets you make light Maybe I will save that one for one of those. Perfect. Morning mist. You're willing this game to turn into Inscription, aren't you? I think games with a horror betrayal trope should come with a warning from the get-go. We've got no way to knock down the mountain and turn it into a farm, which is a shame. That would be very helpful to me. You know what happens? You build a little town on a continent. You advance out into the desert. You start doing a little bit of expansionism, thinking, we should go and check out what's over there. There might be good stuff. There might be somewhere we could build a ziggurat. And then before you know it, you've got the indigenous people of that land. Humans or orcs, doesn't really matter. And you need to deal with them. And it's going to be interesting to see how this game handles that. Orcs, they will pillage our land every few days. There are two ways to stop the pillaging. You can fight them and destroy their camp, or you can make peace with them by giving them food. I can also fight the Black Monolith. Look at this guy! Our scouts found a small group of orcs transporting food. One of the orcs had fallen into a hunting trap. They're trying to get him out. Is this game going to punish me for being nice? That's the question, isn't it? Do I steal their food? Do I help the orcs, which takes up some of my person power? I'm gonna help the orcs. And I'm going to assume that this game is not going to punish me for being nice, because nothing about the presentation of this game suggests it's going to kind of go down that route. I could be totally wrong. We managed to get the orc out of the trap. They're grateful. It would be easier to make peace with that camp. Okay, cool. Right, we can make things cheaper to build. Build hunting cabins and collect fur. That turns food into building materials. Still not totally sure what how these things work. So I'm spending a science. And it's telling me at the top what it's going to do as a process. It's going to turn food into these things. But based on whether I do a tannery or a forge, it's going to do some other upgrade for me. I don't want any of those things right now. I don't want to upgrade that farm because it doesn't have enough places around it to justify it. But there's not really much else I can do to generate food apart from leverage the bounty of the sea. Let's try that. Let's get enough people to make boats. We get some little nautical music for our fishing boats. There's another one of these big guys here. Hello. Hello. You're a big fellow. He's a rock lobster. Right. What do I need to finish my caravanserai? There we go. If you wanted to make that easier for people to understand, I would call it something with a simpler name. By default, it only produces workforce. But you can also organize regular trading of food and materials. Okay, so it's kind of it's a dwelling that's also a market. We're definitely going to need more food soon. Let's start setting up some trades in the caravanserai. The name of the market area in, at least in Morocco, I don't know if it's like a kind of pan-Arabic thing, but it's a souk, S-O-U-K. But caravanserai is a cool word as well. Just good luck getting streamers to say that. I struggled with that word. A couple of our people have gathered around the black monolith. They're worshipping the darkness. How about I kick their ass? Stop doing that. Okay, so I think if I actively go in and fight it, then I get to destroy it. I think. And then that will weaken the darkness when the darkness comes. I love the way that the economy of this game and the kind of story and theme tie together. It's really, really neat. Very evocative. Makes me care about these little people in their little world. It gives it a sense of peril without it being kind of too strong. It's really, really good. I can build desert tents there. Okay, so the caravanserai allows me to build tents next to it. So that's good. A mine collapsed and people are trapped inside. I'm going to just close the mine this time, I think, because I need my resources. I need to get my people production up. So hard to make food. Right, another fishing boat over here. Yeah, he's a rock lobster. Can you not see? Rock lobster. So ziggurats collect sun, and they need to have as much space around them as possible. I don't want to put one there because I can build tents there. So we want to build a tent there. So we want to build a ziggurat right out in the desert where we don't want to build anything else, really. So trade food. What will that do? Turn food into what? We should build a ziggurat in the desert. That's what I keep saying. Get with the times. Right, any of these locations works fine. But I might want to build tents there, so I'm going to avoid that spot and put one here. Uh-oh. We're being followed by a shadowy being. A shadowy being of shadow. I did not forget you. You again? Who are you? Ellipsis. That's his name. You don't even know what you truly are. What do you mean? Looks like we'll have to face the dark storms once more. Ellipsis. That's a lot of required resources to cleanse. I've got another little oasis over there that I can build another one of these on if I get over there. Right. We need ways of generating light. I really appreciate that we've had 2 levels so far. We've had this kind of light, you know, expansion and defense through light mechanic introduced. And both of the levels have had a different way of generating the light resource. So we know later on we're probably going to get levels that have deserts where you can put ziggurats and have light wells in the ground and stuff like that. It's really kind of showing its variety very quickly. And that's the sort of thing that goes a long way to like making people want to check out the rest of the game as well. Because you basically know it's worth it to progress because you're going to see new things rather than variations of the same thing. You can destroy icebergs if you upgrade your boats. Right, so we're going to get some icy stuff as well. I don't have any light to give you. Go away. Darkness is near our home. Protect it. I can't. Because I haven't built a ziggurat. Oh, I've got a ziggurat now. I think I'm going to die, guys. Right, we've got that one to deal with. I've got rid of one of them. Oh. Got rid of the 2 dark clouds surrounding our home. And all I have to do is give them some food, so I'm going to do that now. Is there a mini game for this? Yeah. Well, okay, someone a minute ago said it was getting a bit Undertale. That was the most Undertale this has been so far. The orcs from this camp are going to help us. They don't speak our language well, but we can still understand them. They just love corn on the cob. Who doesn't love corn on the cob? They say they came from beyond the sky. It's because orcs love barbecues. And corn on the cob is like one of the only acceptable barbecue vegetables, so... Go and slaughter their pigs. Okay, so I've got like 5 ticks of this I have to do. Like making friends with them or killing them. And I think maybe that's a secondary thing to surviving the storm, but we'll see. We're getting resources so slowly. Let's do some animal murder and some tree chopping. The thing that's really neat about that minigame as well is that you kind of do it when you're rushing, right? It's like it's your way of rushing production in the game. So the switch between a turn-based game into a little action minigame feels really, really thematically strong. Kill the bear. Right, we're going to get a lumberjack cabin there so we can get more resources consistently rather than just chopping the trees down. Maybe we build another caravan. What's it there? Or up here, so we're not right next to the orcs, because that wouldn't be very sociable, would it? Okay, so there's other orc camps. That's not the only one. To fight him, we need loads of characters. But then we need more places to build on to have enough houses, so I guess putting as many tents as I can around here for now is probably a good start. closing in. The workers rioted and destroyed the lumber mill. Hate it when that happens. This feels very tense. The darkness works very well thematically with just what it does. It's like it kind of sits on top of your buildings and stops them temporarily existing, and then when you get rid of it, they kind of go back to normal. So it's not like it's not physically destructive force that burns everything down, and that stops it feeling too punishing. If you manage to get the light to get rid of it, it doesn't like punish you doubly by then making you rebuild the thing. Yeah, we'll redistribute the food to get some workforce, because workforce is one of the things that we are lacking on here. Maybe what I need to do is explore more of the water, depend on the sea for my food in this one, and then focus on just generating light after that. So I haven't really come up with a strategy for this map yet. I've just been kind of winging it. Okay, I'm going to stop these people worshipping the monolith because I've got enough workforce to do that this time. Hunt these guys. I mean, they didn't really go, the workers at the mill, they didn't really give me a chance to negotiate with them or anything, did they? They just went straight into blowing stuff up mode, which I think is foolish. Okay, so I could maybe even get rid of my farm if I can build more fisheries. Okay, we're upgrading to a fort. This is so tightly balanced. I'm really, really impressed. Like, I think you would have to play this game so much to balance it this tightly. Bow fishing. I think if you let them... Oh, I'm going to help the orcs. So I think if you let the people worship the dark obelisk, then the cost of getting rid of the dark clouds increases. It's all kind of economical. So these guys are friends, that's why they've got a white flag. So that's good. I don't know if that means that they're part of my economy, though, this like little food collection thing. Maybe they are. Yeah, it looks like maybe they are, because otherwise why would it bother to tell me that? So that means if I build a caravanserai there, then the orc village is feeding into it. That's good. Oh dear. I just wish people wouldn't build big evil obelisks near my land. I know I've only been here for like a month or something, but I just think it's rude. I think if the darkness is spread over the orcs and I get rid of it from there, then they should just be my friends automatically, really. Right, we're struggling with our food production because the shadows have landed on our boats. Right, what can we build? Can we upgrade these to... Will they produce more food more quickly? No, I don't think they will. Okay. Right, I've got lots of workforce now since I built all of those other things, so maybe it's time to start ziggurating a bit more. Oh. Our fisherman who got lost ended up on an enchanted island with ancient ruins. We're going to explore the ruins. Sorry, fisherman. Yeah, we got some treasure. You know, I'm not averse to sacrificing a fisherman for lots of treasure. I'm sorry. I have my limits. We're going to build a carpentry workshop that lets us build houses and make things cheaper to build. We're going to fight that rock golem. Yeah, that's it. We're doing okay. We're doing alright. We're still struggling on the food front. Getting rid of this will help because it's blocking that source of extra fish at the moment. Do you want to be friends, guys? I've got lots of corn for you. What am I... What do I not... Oh, I don't have enough food. Die. I'm gonna hunt these guys. I think when you get perfect, it should do the Street Fighter. Perfect! The USP-45 Master says... I'm just gonna guess what your voice sounds like. I'm 2 years into making a Tenchu-like stealth game in UE5. The game's framework and abilities are done. When should I put it on Steam Early Access? After the first level is made, or...? Question mark. That's my kind of AI newsreader voice. It's a good question. I'm not a publishing expert when it comes to platforms. I would say that early access audiences on Steam don't expect to be alpha testers, right? So if your game is advanced to a point where it feels quite polished and it's just missing some content, then that's a good kind of stage to be thinking about early access. But I think the game needs to be like a complete but small version of itself at that stage. So if there's like placeholder assets, if there's anything that doesn't feel polished about how it feels to move, if people don't understand the game because it's lacking information that needs to be in the game, all of that kind of stuff, then I would say that game is still in a kind of alpha prototype stage. And for a game to be ready for early access, it really needs to be much more of a vertical slice, which is like a game that is kind of feature complete but not content complete. So a vertical slice is showing you a chunk of the game and saying, this is basically what the finished game will be like, and we're adding other stuff later. So if you imagine like Baldur's Gate 3, when that released in early access, it was the first act of the game. And there was some stuff that changed later on, but the basic quality of the game didn't really change. They changed some balancing and certain bits of content within that act, but it was representative of the final final quality of the content. And I always think if your game hasn't been played by a lot of people and you're effectively still in a kind of alpha testing stage, and you should be, like, if your game hasn't been played by, like, I don't know, a few dozen people or 50 people, something like that. It's hard to put a number on it, but I would say don't take a game out of the alpha stage until you've had lots of people play it and give feedback on it. And if that's what you need, then doing that on itch is probably better in a lot of ways, because the early access audience on Steam tend to imagine that an early access game is going to be very, very polished, and it's basically a demo of a game, and it's already in its kind of final quality. You know, I mean, if you want a kind of realistic sense of it, go on gamers forums on Reddit and stuff like that, and find people complaining about early access releases of games, and you'll see what sort of things people expect from early access. And it's really not... they don't expect a prototype that is still being tested to see if it's fun. They expect, you know, someone has worked out the base of their game, it's polished to a really high standard, and they're just showing a vertical slice of it. So if you take... it's not necessarily the same genre you're working on, because you said you're making a Tenchu type thing. But in terms of, like, third-person action games, if you watch the video I did of Fade, the Sacrifice, which was this... It's this game that had a load of buzz around it because this individual solo developer had made a really impressive-looking Souls-like game, like third-person action game, with a lot of kind of Fable-type, Grim Fairy Tales-type art direction and world building. And it looks very impressive in videos. But I played the demo of it that was on Steam, and it just didn't have... it didn't have, like, a very good game feel in terms of how it felt to move around and fight and stuff like that. And it was really, really lacking. And they just jumped the gun on, like, how quick to go to the next stage of the publishing process, in my mind. And that's the kind of thing where that was a developer that was building a lot of hype around how cool their thing looked. And they'd really neglected that making a game is like making an activity for someone to do. And of course it needs to look good, but it needs to play good as well. So I would always encourage people go to itch first and just make sure that people vibe with the game, and make sure you collect as much feedback as you can about the game first, because the itch audience are mostly into kind of rougher, more broken experiences. They're more likely to cut you a lot of slack and give you helpful feedback rather than just review bomb you because you put your game in early access and maybe asked money for it and it shouldn't be at that stage yet. So that would be my loose advice there. I generally think early access is for things that are in that kind of Baldur's Gate situation where you've got a whole chapter of a game and it's polished to hell already, and it's already very, very kind of been play tested a lot, all of that kind of stuff. Because at that stage, you're basically presenting it as a product to the market, and if your game hasn't been play tested a lot already, then you probably shouldn't be doing that. You should be presenting it to like a, you know, itch is different because it's like a subculture that is mostly made up of other people that are game developers. So people are going to be a lot more forgiving of stuff and are going to reach out and say, hey, here's how you could make your game better, rather than the response you'll get on Steam, which is just people will tell you it sucks and not give you constructive feedback. And then you'll never get out of that stage because it will already be buried under that big wave of bad feedback in that kind of case, I think. Yeah, one level is probably not enough. But again, what is a level? You know, you can have a game with 5 levels that is a massive game. It's like I would think about it in terms of playtime. How much time is there, and how much variety is there in that amount of time? Shadows and Shurikens is a very good name. I will keep an eye out. We found iron. I'm gonna put some more tents around here now that I'm friends with these orcs. And we're hanging out. Oh, I left it running. I didn't realise I hadn't, like, paused the game. So we've got loads and loads of resources now, I think. Okay, we should fare a bit better now. But that big storm... If you store up enough light, then you can just immediately cleanse the storm. But in order to do that, I'd have to have a really good setup for dealing with this. And I haven't quite done that yet. Got a light breach there. Bloop, 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 bloop. Wolves? I'm going to fight the wolves. They're so fast. We're starting to get a few more opportunities to gather food on this map now, which is good, because it was getting really, really difficult. Right, this one is blocking our fishing again. Curse them. Right, this one is starting to get close to our dwellings. We'll upgrade that to a castle. I guess that makes it harder for them to beat us, but I'm not sure. I thought those orcs were our friends. I thought you were friends. Need to take this guy out up here as well. There's so many threats coming from different directions. I think when it comes to the early access question, you know, there's a difference between making a free demo and early access, right? Early access, you're still selling a product. You're making like a demo that you ask for money for, effectively. And that means you need to be a lot more strict with yourself about, you know, is the thing that you're making actually worth that, right? I think if you're intending to make like a 5-hour game and you've made a 1-hour game, that might be something that people would buy for $1. I don't know. But the honest way to answer that question for yourself is to kind of think about whether you would, you know. Would you buy like a short version of a game that you kind of like the look of but might never get finished? I personally wouldn't. I've been stung by early access in the past quite bad. And it wasn't that the game I'm thinking of didn't eventually get better. It's that when I paid for it, it wasn't really playable to me, you know? I mean, you could make an early access game where you've completed most of the content. You've made 10 levels of your game. You know, your game is meant to be 10 levels long, and you've made 10 levels of it, and that's an early access game. And it might just be that the things that you haven't added yet are things like characters or abilities or something, right? So it's one aspect of the content is complete for the entire game, and another aspect of the content isn't complete for the entire game. So you can play like the whole game through with one character, right? So if I was making something like Slay the Spire, that would be how I would structure my workflow. I would make the game work with just one character and then allow people to test that for a long period of time. And then while people are testing that and I'm collecting information about what works in the game and what doesn't, then I could start developing the second character. I'm going to free the orcs. Even though those other orcs smashed up my big desert building when after I'd helped them, which I think was very mean of them. Okay, we've got a little bit of peace here. I have enough workforce to go and blow up this crystal thing now, so I'm going to try and do that. I think we had some art not working there. I was supposed to get projectiles come in that I was blocking or something. This guy, he needs to go. We found the druid. He has a deep respect for nature and can make us potions. Can I have a magic potion, please? I've got loads of workforce now. That's good. I'm gonna go and beat this guy up. Amazing. Turn him into a quarry again. Feels a little bit mean to turn a character into a quarry. Who keeps doing that? Which orcs is that? Which orcs are doing that? Because I thought I'd made friends with most of them. Right, we're going to make peace with you when we've got enough food. Maybe I'll just fight you. It's cheaper. I'm going to go against my morals and beat the orcs up because it's too difficult to make friends with them. Making food is too hard. There we go. I slaughter their piggies. I take their light well. Turn it into my own light well. Yeah. Now we're cooking with light. That's what I needed to do. I needed to just find some sources of light in this dark world. We found baby bears. They might be the cubs of the bear we killed last time. Unfortunately, we're going to kill them and get their bear meat because I'm low on that resource. I like the idea of the the little helper that goes invisible when you're going to be seen. That's a really neat idea. I think the biggest problem that stealth games have, and I grew up playing a lot of stealth games. I played the first two Tenchu games. I love the kind of im-sim type ones like Dishonored and stuff like that, and Thief. It's just like the how do you solve the what happens when you get caught type problem. Like, how do you make it interesting to get caught and not just kind of reload a save, you know? Let's collect some fruits. Right, we're collecting food at a pretty decent rate now, so I think this next crop plant is going to be for generating light. So hemp fields let you generate building resources, which kind of makes sense. And I'm just going to eliminate all the orcs because they've been a pain. I'm pretty sure some of them have been destroying stuff without, even after I've made friends with them. Unless there are orcs over here who I can't see and I've just massacred the ones that I was friends with. But, you know, these things happen. C'est la vie. I really like the way a bunch of things in this game have, like, they're sort of a simple set of rules, but they have multiple uses, right? So the rock golem, it's like, that's a threat that you've got to take out. He's going to throw rocks at your village and smash it down if you don't take him out. And then when you do take him out, you get this like very specific reward of it becoming a mine. And it all makes perfect sense with the kind of fantasy and the theme of the world. And it's just really kind of tight and neat. I like it. They found a way to destroy a mountain, but they need funding to do the research. Okay. I can destroy mountains now. That's kind of helpful on this map in particular, where we've got not much space. Running out of workforce. Okay. I'll never be able to murder all of these orcs if I keep running out of workforce. Upgrade some stuff to houses, maybe? So running out of places I can build living places. Okay, tents over there, that's good. Where is my workforce being used up? All of my ziggurats are using up workforce. Okay, some of these buildings that produce resources can go, I think. Because I've stacked loads of resources. Maybe I need to stop trading and trade something else. Is that a thing? Yeah, putting them into trade mode is using up workforce. Okay, if I invest a science into one of these, I can build tents anywhere on the desert, which is going to be very, very helpful. So I need to upgrade that. Okay, that's given me a science. So when this is upgraded to a castle, you can just turn light and goods into research. So that's helpful to know. So I can just now upgrade that into a grand bazaar, and now I can build tents anywhere. But not where they're going to take light away from the ziggurats, I guess. Yeah, we're going to build a tavern there when we've got enough resources to. Running out of food now. This game is a really challenging balancing act. And I like it for it. It's very, very good. We're doing well for light now. I need to resist the temptation to just reveal loads of the map, because the darkness is going to come back soon. Right, orcs, where are you? I'm gonna beat him up. I need more peoples. Oh gosh, I'm doing really badly now. Why am I doing so badly? What is it? These guys need beating up. Nope, that's not going to help. Struggling a lot with food production. Kill the sheeps. Illuminate that. Hunt those animals. It's really interesting. You kind of get in... Your head gets into building mode. And then for a little while you kind of forget about the hunting minigame. You forget that it exists. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's the thing that can kind of save me from this, is just going on a little hunt. It's like the minigame is there to provide you with these kind of short-term, temporary solutions to the problem, which don't last, but you need to use them, and you need to remember that they're there as an option. I'm going to go back to trading food. But still not enough. Right, we need more tents. We need more people. And what I really need is to blow this mountain up so I can have a little bit more farmland. Maybe I can do another research, and I can use that to upgrade something over here as well. I think the storm guy and the light guy, it's going to be like, oh, we're two sides of the same coin. You know, we're elementals. We shouldn't be friends with these... We shouldn't be friends with these humans. I think it's that kind of deal. I don't know. Okay. Food is a problem. Workforce was a problem, but food is more of a problem. I feel like... Because I can build tents in the forest, in the desert to fill up my workforce. So all of the green land, I should really reserve it for trying to farm, I think. So let's put another farm over there. Of course they did. Oh dear. No, not a hemp field. I don't want a hemp field. I want a cornfield there. Okay, everyone's going to live in the deserts, and we're going to use the small amount of grassland we have to grow food. I think on the plus side, I think maybe the darkness isn't coming back, and we just have to focus on the orcs now. Which is good. And I have enough light and resources to just, like, upgrade a bunch of stuff. Right. We need loads and loads of desert tents. We need to eliminate the orcs that stop me building my caravan things. Because those guys are the worst. And I just need to make my little bit of farmland a little bit better. We reaped a bountiful harvest. I love it when I reap a bountiful harvest. It's my favourite. Right, we need 30 civvies. And then we can get some food going over here a bit better. Fruit trees. Oh my goodness. Why is it so hard? Could it be because I put it on hard mode? Just have to kind of let them keep knocking down my tents and then building more. I don't really have another way to approach this. If I chop this down, though, I can surround some tents around a tavern, and then those tents will be more productive. So that's a neat little spot to do that in. Repair the light well. Not ready to fight those guys yet. Distribute the harvest so we get more people. I'm not sure what the difference between the fruits and the corn is, or if it is just down to whether one has a mini game and one doesn't. Not sure. Warriors patrol the area, making it cheaper to fight. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, now we're cooking. We're cooking now. Listen, orcs. I didn't want to kill you all like this, but it's the harsh realities of life in this desert. I love it when I find a chest full of science. Right, we're still struggling on food production. So every bit of green space is going to get turned into a farm. And I know that the unfortunate thing is we're living right next to the druid here, and he might have some opinions about that. But, you know, if he wants to keep his little bit of forest, then maybe he just needs to mind his own business. I'm always saying that to druids. Mind your own business, druid. Right. Here we go. We're doing it now. We're doing it. Friendly ending. It's gone. I mean, it's mixed, isn't it? You can make friends with some of them and murder the others. Divide and conquer. The orcs say they lost their homeworld to the eternal night. The eternal night, huh? Hate it when that happens. Let's blow up that mountain as well. Or we can use it to generate light. A tough call. Such a tough call. No, that's not right. I don't want one of them there. I want a farm there to collect from there. That's right. And then eventually I'll probably get rid of this and turn that into a farm field. Yeah, I killed some of the orcs and I made friends with some of the other orcs. It's what Cortez did in South America. Or Central America. Central America. Right, we don't need the building resources. We need the land for farming, so... Here we go. Now we're really cooking with corn. I'll build 2 corns, and then I'll also build 1 crystal field. Really satisfying how once you've got the resources in this game, you can kind of build really, really fast. Beat this guy up before he throws any rocks at me. What's that? Is that a monolith thing? Gotta find where these other orcs are. We just want to collect so much light that we can expand really quickly now. Oh, they reawaken if you don't build on them, I think. That's even better. They continue to be a threat, just a different kind of threat after you've beaten them up. You have to build a quarry on them or they come back. Makes sense to me. I feel like there's a bug here. It's like I can't see what's coming in from it. There's like a little tutorial over on the side, and that has projectiles coming in, and that doesn't, so... Right, you're going to be our friends. They were imprisoned in huge flying black rocks. That must be the black monoliths. This region's now secure. I don't know what I am, where I come from, or why I'm here. Anyway, we should get going. There's a pressing matter we need to attend to. Do you want to keep building? No. I wanna do one more map today. And then I need to log off and do some work. I'm not sure how much any of these things appeal to me. I think I'm happy to kind of carry on with story for now. We can afford to just jump to the last level of the story, which is very unusual. I am going to jump a few ahead, just to see what happens to me from a kind of experience point of view with doing that. So we might miss some tutorialization if we do that. I'm interested to see the thinking behind structuring the game this way. So I'm going to pick the Enchanted Forest just because it sounds lovely. And I'm also going to put it on normal this time so I can have a chill time building a lovely place in an enchanted forest. Pesky work, yeah. I'm self-employed, but also, you know, self-employed as a freelancer doing work for other people. So that means that a lot of the time I'm very flexible in what I do and when, but I still need to do it at some point. Forests as far as the eye can see. Our realm is expanding quickly and we need more materials to build new cities. Let's set up an outpost and start gathering materials. We'll stay alert. That facial expression is so good. I have a feeling we're not alone out here. What are these? Moo cows? Right. I've got lots of lovely space. This is the edge of a map as well, okay? So I can't go further up to the left. I can only go out into this vast wilderness. Ah, now it makes sense. This is how people have time to watch streams all day, because everyone who watches this channel is a freelancer of some description. It all makes sense now. Right, we need some building materials, so we're going to do some chopping over here. And that's also going to clear that space so I can put like a church or a tavern or something up there later. We need some food, so we're going to collect some fruits. And we're also going to chop that area to make space for some more houses, some more homes. And what is this? Build tree villages. Wisps may appear in forests. A tree of eternity. You can build a village in it. That's so cool. But I can't do that yet. Oh, a tree of eternity requires me to have some science. So there's two ways you can play this. I think you can kind of mow through this forest in a very terrible way, or you can try and save it so that you can build a little forest town. That's neat. I found some old production reports. It seems like they were producing a lot of materials at first, but then production suddenly stopped. It says here that someone began stealing the wood and destroying the cabins. It's going to be fairies in here, isn't it? If there's a tree of life, there's going to be some pesky fairies. I'm going to pasture those cows. I'm going to collect some light. Bloop, bloop, bloop. What's this? Cherry Grove? Uh-oh. There's zombies and you can fight them or you can purify them. And if you purify them, you get workers. Is that because they turn back into humans, or is it because they become holy zombies? They've been accepted onto some special sort of zombie worker program. I don't know. That's a good reason to try and save up some light, though, I guess. Over here, we've got some ghosts. Haunted forest. Lots of spooky stuff. Right, I'm going to repair that lumberjack cabin. I think it's cheaper than building a new one. Don't really want to obliterate this forest, but I might as well do the bit around my home because that's the best place to build tents. So. We're not doing very well at collecting food here. Repair that lumberjack cabin. We discovered an elven village. Elves are peaceful creatures that share a close bond with nature. You can build a trade route with them to get materials. They'd like to gift us resources to welcome us. That's nice. I can murder them if I want to, though. I've got no reason to. But, you know, I just think it's worth thinking these things through. Let's do a trade route. They're giving me light and building resources. Okay, so I'm guessing if I cut down too much of the forest, they're going to get annoyed and stop helping me. It's the classic fantasy trope of the magical people that don't need to eat or build anything, and they hate anyone else who needs to eat or build anything. They don't want us to hunt. Okay. Okay. Fine. Hippies. Are they going to get annoyed if I go and fish out here? Going to get annoyed for me fishing? The lighthouse gives you sunshine from the water. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. Sort of. I can build a cherry shrine. It's very nice. What do I need to purify these guys? I need 20 light to purify them. I don't think I'm going to be able to optimize all my adjacencies in this one without annoying the elves, so I'm going to probably just be spreading my little campsites throughout the forest. Otherwise, the elves will have to go the way of the orcs. Right, we are struggling with food this time. So maybe a little farm down the side of here. I'm going to purify those ghosts. Hope the elves aren't pro-ghost. Because that's going to create a very difficult situation. Right. We can build a tree of eternity. I'm guessing that's a thing that the elves will be happy that... Yeah, elves are grateful that we're trying to be in harmony with the forest. That's nice. They offered us resources. We've got some wisps over here. And we can collect light from the wisps. That's wonderful. Really cool. The way that this, you know, every map of this is telling its own little story. It's really, really lovely. Okay, farm there. We'll just do a farm over in the corner. Stay away from the from bothering the elves too much. Oh. He's back.
This is futile. Why don't you give up already?
Why don't you stop destroying our world?
We are not destroying it, just adapting it.
Adapting it, but why?
Because they don't have a choice.
Maybe I'm just evil. I think that every day. Every day. I can't see what I'm supposed to be attacking. I did it. That was good. This is the first time I've really felt like I trounced the encroaching darkness. We purify these guys. We can purify these guys. Turned them into regular human beings. I seem to be producing building materials at an okay rate, so I'm going to build an observatory on there instead, because I don't think I'm going to get loads of opportunities to get light on this map. Okay, we've got a little bit of income of everything. Wolves? Right, I'm sorry elves, but we're not going to let the wolves just do stuff. That's not on. We're going to fight the wolves. I know you like nature, but when it's wolves and they're eating stuff that they shouldn't be eating, I don't think that should be allowed. Right, we are down a little bit on food. Struggling with the food. Cherry Shrine gives you light. Anywhere where it looks like we might get a bit more food production. Hello. Hello, elves. Can we build a fishing spot next to you? Will you complain if I fish next to you? Thank you. Are you gonna... I think I'm allowed to collect fruits. I'm just not allowed to chop them down. Not sure. Right, we're doing very well for light this time. Lots of wolves. Lots of stinky wolves, and they're so fast. Uh-oh. A volcano. Building an observatory on it might help prevent an eruption. Oh, interesting. You're going to force me to build an observatory. Come on, zombies. Come be friends. Right. I want to clear enough space so I can think about what to build next, and then I need to just let my light build up so when the darkness comes back again I can zap it. Our food production is still very, very slow. Build coral and kelp farms. That would be helpful to be able to do, but I think you need lots of space.
You're willing to destroy the forest for your own survival.
We need the materials to survive. We don't have a choice either.
Then perhaps we're not so different after all.
Oh, it's one of those, is it? It's a judgy game. You can put me in a situation and then say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that thing. Hey, you see that core gameplay you're doing? I don't think you should do that. Right. Got rid of them nice and easy this time. That's good. Just gonna build the occasional orchard. I think the elves are getting a pretty good deal. I haven't wrecked their forest too much. Right, I need to fight that though. I need to get enough people to fight that. Build a cherry shrine so we get some more light. Hi, Yellow Star. Yeah, each map of this story mode really gives you a lot of different little challenges, and it's really, really nice. Not another stinky monolith. Tame the wolves? Yes, please. Look! The wolves are hanging out. They've been in a little house. Right, one more bunch of food and we can build another tree village. Still very, very slow to gather any resources in this, but I guess that's what happens when you're trying not to destroy the environment. I had to murder a lot of orcs because it was very, very difficult on hard mode to spare them. Whereas we're on easy mode now. So I feel a bit more like trying to do the nice thing because the game's not impossibly hard to do the good thing with. It's my trade llama. Right, wolfies, are you being good? They say there's a druid in that forest. Didn't find him. Give me a little random chance to find a druid each time. Right, let's go and smash this monolith. Can't really see what I'm doing in this minigame. I think there's a projectile that's just not visible for me. Feels like a bug. Not sure. Let's get some more tents. And keep exploring over here. I will upgrade my home. Let's get a fort. All the elves care about is that you live up in the trees, you know. That's really what motivates them. I don't have any livestock, so maybe I don't care if there are wolves. Maybe it's okay. Uh-oh. Big monolith. Needs lots of people to fight it. I can stun it with light, though. I think I'll do that. We need some more little food production places wherever we can put them, really. Ooh.
Boop, 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 boop.
Are they pettable? So these are the unpettable wolves that are wild. And these ones are pets. And it seems like because I tamed them, I get some food. I don't know how that's helping. Maybe they're helping me hunt. I don't know. Stop worshipping the darkness. Stop it. Stop doing that. We've got a basic social contract here. Like, you get to live in this society, and in payment, you agree that you're not going to worship the darkness. Why is it so hard to get? Why is it so hard to get your head around? Don't go and worship the big evil monolith. The elves are going to be annoyed that I killed some deer, but what I really meant to do was kill the wolf pack. Because they are going to go and eat those sheep. Whoa. Stun you again. Right, we need quite a lot of people to fight that. Right, now I need to just save up workforce and light. So I should be going around and collecting light from some of these wisps. And then that costs me 20 workforce to do that collection each time. So I've got enough light now, I think. Now I just need to wait for my workforce to get up. There's a grumpy ogre in there. It's Shrek. He yelled at us. This is my swamp. Get out of my swamp. There he is. An ogre swamp. Right, we're fighting the monolith now. With the minigame where I can't see what's happening, so I just have to spin the sword around. I think this minigame might be broken. Definitely going to submit a bug report after the session and let them know about that, because it's a bit of a shame. Like, the rest of the game is pretty much perfect. And there's just those ones where I can't see what I'm doing for some reason.
Boop, 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 boop.
Do we have any more big trees I can build in? Here? And here. So this makes me wonder if in like the rest of the game it's possible to get maps that have like all of these things in together. You know, like you've got a desert with orcs and you've got a elf forest and it's all in one massive map together. Be interesting to find out. I mean, for story mode it makes sense to sort of introduce these things step by step so you can learn how they work and how you're supposed to deal with them.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop,
This map must feel wildly different as well if you decide to, like, chop all the trees down and kill all the elves. Very interesting approach to having a kind of moral path in a game, because the two paths in this would feel very, very different to play through. Although, given the conversation between the little fire guy and the storm earlier, it sounds a bit like they would try and frame it as you're the good guys either way, you know? Okay, so the elf village kind of counts as one of our buildings now, so if I put the tavern next to it or a church, then it will generate extra stuff. I put a tavern there, little elf tavern. Shrek wants a fight. Whoa! When does a minigame get so small that it becomes a micro game? Huh? Elf Church. The children went to the swamp to see if the ogre was real. One of them fell in, but the ogre saved her. Thank him and offer some food. The ogre promised he won't steal our food anymore as long as we stay out of his swamp. He even said he'd help us build our city. Thank you, ogre. So he's become part of our workforce now. Yeah, we're going to build an elf church over there. And the slowest resource for us is still food. Maybe there's a fishing spot over there. Haven't quite worked out if the elves don't like us fishing or not, but... No! Stun. So what do we need to fight it? We've got enough people, we need more light. I'm not going to upgrade to a castle yet because I need to do this boss there first. Why is this minigame broken? It might be because I've got it... There's like a compatibility mode that I had to run the game in to get it to work. And maybe there's something about a graphical display thing that's just not working there. Which is a shame. Nothingness. I think that's what the obelisk does. If you let it stay somewhere too long, it just gets rid of tiles. That's scary. Existentially scary. Yeah, there's one there as well from earlier. Just eating holes in the map. I don't like it. Don't like it. Scary. Right, upgrading to castle, which means we can make research whenever we want as well now, like that. And then we can upgrade things and make them super duper versions. Like we can change our church into a temple. Why not? It looks cooler. If you leave the wisps, they gradually just unlock areas without you having to illuminate them yourself as well. That's cool. Right, we're just trying to collect 300 resources now. Yay! We found him this time. I love it when a druid makes me a potion. Make me a magic potion, Mr. Druid. Thank you. Why do they break down so quickly? Pesky light wells. Oh, okay, I can fight the monolith straight away, which at least will stop it making any holes in the world again. It's made a swamp. Or it was on a swamp already, maybe. Right. Gonna go and blow up the monolith as well. Nice. Uh-oh. There's still one over here. See, when it's the shield game, I can see what's going on.
Boop, 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 boop.
Got one more science I can upgrade. We can get a magic tower. Create mountains, deserts, and seas on plains. Wow. So if I wanted to, I could turn that into a magic tower. And then whenever there's an empty plain, I could turn it into water. Maybe. I think this game is great. Chris in the chat just asked the diagnosis. I think this is fantastic. I've got one bug, what seems to be a bug, where there's a particular minigame that doesn't work. But this game works so well for me. And like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for board games anyway. I really love... I love tile laying games. I love engine building games where you kind of create your own system of things that produce resources and trigger each other in different ways and stuff. And this has all of that. And it's not trying to be a physical board game. It is like it's designed specifically to work with a controller. It tells you at the start, play this game with a controller, not a mouse or anything. And it's just great. It feels like something that could have come out in the 90s on the SNES. If you've ever played, like, there was a very weird subgenre of strategy games that were made for consoles in the 90s. And it wasn't like, okay, sickos like me who played Command and Conquer on the PlayStation, right, which was a point and click mouse game designed for PC, and they just somehow made it work with a controller. It wasn't like that. I'm talking about games where it was designed for a console, and things like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games, stuff like that. That was like, it was a Nintendo strategy game, and that's kind of what UFO 50 did with Avianos as well. And this feels like that. It's totally, there's loads of depth here. You know, there's as much depth as there usually is in kind of kind of bigger 4X games to a certain extent, and maybe not quite as much, but there's not there's a lot of depth without the micromanagement of like having to move units around and stuff like that. So it's really played to the strengths of being a controller based game rather than trying to like just do everything that a Civ game would do and somehow make it work with the controller. The theme and the story is fantastic. We played through two and a bit levels of the story. There's loads of other modes. There's loads of stuff to keep you busy here. And yeah, I just think this is really sweet. I think it's thematically lovely. Everything about the story and the setting and theme is really, really nice. And And every one of these story levels also seems to have multiple approaches you can do as well, in terms of how you do things kind of ethically, and how you approach them in terms of building a little economy and stuff like that as well. It's just really, really elegant, and seems to have quite a lot of depth without being overly complicated as well. And that's very, very hard to do. I'm going to build a magic tower. And now I can make seas. Which I think is pretty neat. Fisherman's gone missing. Sorry. I'm going to abandon him. Let's keep collecting materials. We need 999 materials. It's got a really good structure to the overall game as well, where you collect these blue sparkles, and they're like a... We'd call this a progression currency in like economy design, in like, I don't know, any kind of game that is big enough to have an economy designer. You call this a progression currency. So in a lot of free-to-play games, it's stars, right? You can complete a level, you get 3 stars, you get 5 stars, and then at some point you need stars to unlock something in order to progress through the levels. It's a currency for progression. This game has those in the form of these blue sparkles, and they let you unlock steps in the story. They let you skip levels in story mode, which is what we've done here. We've jumped straight ahead, and they let you unlock game modes, and it's really nice. There's a kind of sense of freedom there. You know, you're grinding to get those things by completing the challenges, and the way that you spend them, you kind of get a reasonable amount of freedom with as well. So that's all really cool, and yeah, all good stuff. They can turn seas into land. I don't want to turn seas into land. I don't want to turn land into sea. Like, for example, if I were to get rid of these... It's also very forgiving with letting you delete stuff and put other stuff there. You know, I might want to just maybe make a little ocean over here. I might want to just make a little ocean, you know? Oh. The volcano turned some sea into land. Well, I'm going to put it back there. Uh-oh. Right, we're gonna keep stunning the monolith, and then fighting the little ones.
Boop, 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 boop.
That one. You're getting cleansed, mate. Those mini games are exactly the right length. They're just, it's just the right amount of time to focus on something silly and little like that in this kind of strategy game. Right, we're going to collect some light, and then we're going to go and destroy that monolith. And I think we're very close to finishing this map. I might have upset the elves a little bit, but you know, sometimes the forest needs to give way to the water, and that's part of nature too. And I don't think I should be punished just because I'm a water wizard. And I need, you know, I need to create seas around my tower.
Boop, 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 boop.
stinky monoliths everywhere. Unfortunately, this is the mini game that appears to be broken for me, but you know. Perfect place for a sea. I hope this isn't going to be like what happened with Hexagod, where I just found a really broken way to play the game. Okay, I've got loads of resources now, so I can start turning them into research over here. Something shiny caught my eye. It turned out to be science, so I bought it for us. Every time this character finds some science, the way it speaks about it is very amusing and charming. I found some science. Wizards are part of nature too. Wizards are part of nature. Right. For my plan to work, we need to collect a lot of light. I mean a lot of light. Science. Thanks, science. We're making a lot of light now. I've built all those observatories. Our wizards leveled up. Now they can create land from nothing. Ah, we can restore stuff. Ah, that takes the edge off of that a little bit. I kind of like the fact that the monoliths eating the level felt very kind of final and scary.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
I mean, I guess that's the benefit of having wizards, isn't it? Someone creates a void in your world. Just get a wizard to undo it. That also mean I can just build ziggurats for no reason. I don't want a ziggurat. Just a random micro desert there. Yeah, this game likes to blame me for just doing stuff that people normally do, you know? Oh no. Don't do that. Be people, not zombies. I need places for people to live. It's getting very expensive to illuminate the map now. Balancing the forest's harmony while collecting materials was a challenge. But we've earned the eternal friendship of the elves.
Don't celebrate just yet. In the end, we will take over this planet.
I'm the heart of this world and I'll stop you.
I was the heart of a planet too once, but I still serve my people.
He's gone. He was the heart of a planet just like me. What could have happened to him? He may be our enemy, but I can't help but feel sorry for him. Anyway, one of our governors needs our help. Let's go see her. Do you want to keep building this city and exploring the region?
I do want to keep building this city because I have a sort of magical experiment that I want to conduct. And in order to do that, I'm gonna need a lot of everything really, but mostly light. I need all the light I can get for this experiment. Because as you know, light is an important magical ingredient. And so we're putting observatories on all of these mountains wherever we can. We're going to try and reveal as much of the map as we can, even though it's got really expensive. Seems to be the top price for revealing the map now is 300 light. Gonna kill some zombies. Turn them into people. Right, we need some more population. We need some more workforce. So maybe another tree village. I love living in harmony with nature. I love nature and living in harmony with it. It's my favourite thing to do. No, we don't need a mine. Observatories all the way. Don't have enough peoples. Where can I even put some more peoples? There's nowhere to put peoples. But I do have decent food production and stores now, so maybe it's just a case of upgrading some things into houses if I can do that. That's a bit better. Every tent upgraded into a house gives me one more workforce production. They can worship the darkness. Fine, whatever. We'll get rid of that in a minute. If the people want to be goths, I can't stop them. Well, I can stop them, but I need enough people to knock the thing down. There we go. There we go. Broken mini game. I can't see what I'm doing in this mini game. Broken mini game. I can't see. Right, I think we've cleared all of the darkness off the map. I think. Spoke too soon. One left. We're gonna make everything visible on the whole map. I feel like if I say games that I love are sick, that will confuse people. Because I'm a clinic. That would be more confusing than anything, wouldn't it? It'd be like, you saying this game is bad? Needs to stay in the clinic for longer? Needs some medicine? Right, we've nearly got total vision. I'm trying to create the panopticon. I want to be able to see every part of this kingdom before I'm done here. But that won't be all, because after I've made the entire kingdom visible, then we're going to move into stage 2 of my plan. We're doing well, we're doing good. We're just not getting the light as quick as I would like to. But I've got an idea of how we can solve that. Got an idea. The watchtower. So you get these like random little events that, like the fisherman falling overboard, finding a druid, and some of them are just based on like, do you have one of this building upgrade? And because it's quite hard to get building upgrades, because you have to get the science resource, which is quite costly. It takes a while for you to see them, and it's cool. It's a nice little progression within each map you do. Like how many of these little random occurrences are you going to get access to? So it reminds me a little bit of Reigns. If you've ever played the game Reigns, the way that works, it's like it has a deck of events, and it, depending on what you do, it adds stuff to that queue of things that can happen. Really nice way to make a kind of procedural story happen within another type of game. I earned 30 blue lights by illuminating the entire map. But I've got other plans for this map. I've got other things I would like to do with this map. And I'm going to do them. And I want you to understand that I'm doing this in the interest of science. So what we're going to do is just, you know, clear a little bit of space and just slowly, you know, make it a little bit easier to get around over here. Because ever since I built my wizard's tower, all I've really wanted in this world was to live in harmony with the ocean. And I think the highest form of respect for nature is terraforming, like I'm doing now. You know, I don't hate nature. I just want it to be more how I want it. The elves have declared war. And I think that's because they can't accept that the time of the ocean has come. It's looking pretty good. I would say it's more of a river than an ocean at the moment. This is like the deep lore for like a region in D&D or something. Long ago, the humans and elves lived at peace with one another. Until one day, an evil wizard, mad with power, learned the secrets of ocean magic. Driven mad by his love of seafood, he drowned the forests until nothing was left but small islands dotted across the land. He even murdered the sheep until his tower stood all alone. In an ocean of sadness. I've already won the map, so I don't know if you could win this way before. I mean, you could, right? Because all I had to do to win the map was get a bunch of resources, and I could do that by helping the elves and they gift me the resources, or I could do it by chopping the whole forest down. And I didn't do it that way. I did it the nice way. But then I just, you know, there comes a time in every wizard's career where they realise that they don't just want to change the world in a small kind of moment-to-moment way. They want to shape it. They want to be the kind of wizard that just changes the entire shape of a continent. And this is why I shouldn't be allowed magic. Because this happens. The druid is upset that we're disrespecting nature. Listen, druid. Listen. The sea is nature too. The sea is also nature. And our time has come. He's gone. He's just gone. He's not going to fight me or anything. Coward. Land-dwelling coward. Scared of a bit of water. Oh, I'm a protector of nature. Oh, don't put so much water everywhere. Oh. Oh, don't murder those horses. Oh. Horse meat is truly the haddock of the land. Can't burn down my own tree villages, alas. So my plan to turn this into a fully kind of seafaring land is not working. You can go. The way it looks when you fight elves is so funny. You can't see them, they're just arrows flying out of the trees. But I think it's probably for the best in the long run. You're quite warlike, those elves. Quick to anger, you know.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.
Getting some good chivos from this. You might look at this and you might think like, oh, he's being really evil. Why is he doing that? And the reason I'm actually doing it is I'm trying to create the world from Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea novels. And what that basically means is if you don't like what I'm doing here, it's because you're a Philistine and you don't like art. Because that's what this is. This is just art. This game is art, and what I'm doing with it is art. And I'm doing it to pay respects to one of the 20th century's great authors. I don't have any people left. It's alright. Doesn't matter that we're running out of workforce. I think it's unfair that after I've done all this, there's not an option to make peace with them again. There's some here. There's some here. And I think... Oh, there's some here as well. I think I should still be able to make peace with them. The game is maybe expressing the viewpoint that some things are just too far and you can't come back from.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.
What do I think of people who go into thrift stores and buy nice things so they can resell it for higher? I don't know, just sound enterprising to me. It's a good question though. Good question about ethics. I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a lot of things, you know. That's better. There we go. We're back to a functioning world. Free to roam the seas. Oh no, there's one more. I think they get stronger with each one you build. Each one of them you beat. That's kind of what happened with the orcs earlier as well. I think this island... I think we could do some really nice architectural features over here. And this will be an island that just has lighthouses all around it. And what that symbolizes really is that my people have spent a long time in the dark. And we've really had to fight to keep the darkness at bay in this world. So now we build lighthouses all the way around our coasts. Like this. Coasts lovingly provided to us by the ocean wizard over here.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop.
I think we've done a pretty good job here today, folks. I'm sure you can... There'll be some people who get nostalgic for the old times and they say, oh, it was better. It was better when the enchanted forest was a forest. And... oh, you know, we preferred it when there were elves here. But you can't make an archipelago without breaking a few elves. Farewell. I'll be back tomorrow with Tic-Tac-Tic, which is a deck builder where you play tic-tac-toe, which sounds like a bad idea. I played a demo of it some months ago, and it was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what the developer has done with it in the meantime. So, if you're around tomorrow, come and check out Tic-Tac-Tic. And thank you for joining me for this journey today into games and the consequences